think about the knowledge that he brings to a team, and that's nice and all, but I think the biggest issue as to why he was staying on not staying on a lot of these top level teams was frankly not putting out enough individually. And I think against a team like Marca Registrada, I have a high expectation that he can perform, that he can produce enough of an output, but that will be another question mark for me as to how much he can impact in the server today. But we'll start here on Dust2. This has still been a fairly great map for Marsborne. They should be able to start this on the right foot, but one bullet, one headshot for B1, and Wolfie with those dual Berettas are completely out of the round.
And so is Grizz as well, a one-for-one trade, maintaining the advantage for Marca Registrada as they move their way into the open A site. Walco coming in CT, all three remaining CTs through their own spawn. A Walco with a flash from Lucid does at least get one, but the trades are not going the way of Marsborne. AMC with a pair, and Marca Registrada strike first and take the opening pistol. They don't get the bomb plant, but they got the round of the board. No buy up here from Marsborne. Should be strictly USPs, maybe a flashbang, maybe a P250. Never mind. All in for Spy. And Marca Registrada are ready for this. They've gone full rifles here. They've got utility as well. The MP9s around a corner are going to be difficult to deal with, but when it comes to a long-range engagement, so much is left on that scout for Wolfie. Marca Registrada can keep range between them and the opposition. They should not have much trouble at all with this round.
Not at all. I'm looking towards players like Grizz and Wolfie to be those difference makers as this game continues to go the distance. More so than usual, especially with the limbo fifth conversation and the embedding of Walco. This has a smoke gap on it, and the nade is actually popping open the smoke, giving a chance to Lucid and giving a 5v4 over to Marsborne. Majestics meanwhile will go perusing into this B bomb site, and he continues his journey with find that this is an open B bomb site. MC will find another in the middle of the map, while Walco pulls back another. Very awkward situation here for Marca when the bomb is down in middle and they've got the open B bomb site. It's just how do you get that C4 to that proper site?
That's a good question. The Molotov, though, might just work out as Grizz can get back to that catwalk. He does get taken away, and Majestics finds Lucid as well, leaving Walco with that saved Galil in a 1 versus 3 with a he can isolate this first fight, which he does, not successfully. Marca Registrada escape with that second round and move into an anti-eco, looking to go up 3-0 on Marsborne. A lot more to see from both of these two teams as to whether or not the upset can really truly be brewing, but as it stands, the right ingredients are being added to the pot for Marca Registrada. And it is their map pick.
Well, when I look at Marca Registrada, the guy that I'm looking at is AMC. I think this guy, an aggro rifler that is willing to really create space for this team and set the tempo. And so far, back-to-back kills, back-to-back multi-kills rather, for him in this best of 3. And they'll need him to step up and continue to set that tempo if they want anything to say in this best of 3.
Well, he needs more than one, and he does not get more than one. Spamsy down, ball range for B1, and Walco falls in the interim. Dink down is for Taylor, and Grizz will finish the job, but no armor behind Grizz's line. AK picked up, I don't think he's going to want to waste that. So save the AK, concede the third, but the economic damage is done. Marca Registrada are not going to be in the best of economic situations, at least for Spamsy. Everybody else should have enough to buy, but they're going to be in a bit of a reset scenario coming into round 4, which means if Marsborne can take that one, they have a good chance at getting 2 in a row to start off their CT gun rounds. And Grizz may just get lucky too. Gets an exit, even better, especially on the Majestics. 850 in the bank. That would go a long way to making this a little bit better. Then Grizz can't quite bring it down though. Round might have stopped him, and then the headshot, of course, for good measure. That would have been a nice extra kill. Regardless, though, Marsborne get the full buy, the op for Wolfie. That op will not be available for the T side. As you can see, they're shuffling guns around, and here's the chance for Marsborne to try and give themselves a good spot at getting 2 in a row into the CT half of Dust2. 3 kits abound as well. The op is down. Takes a shot and moves into lower behind that smoke. Won't see anything. And so he'll back away. He needs to be careful not to lose that early. Losing an early pick, especially up, it would be detrimental to Marsborne's cause. And he's all alone with no real support. Has to be very careful not to get over the front. There's nobody nearby, and I think luckily it's going to be a cat A split. So he won't really be tested yet.
Flash in for AMC to fight for Taylor around the area. But an instant smoke up on Catwalk will deny that peering AWP. Majestics has been getting really finicky around these tunnels to take that opening duel, but get to find it. Grizz just dry going in through long, gets a key kill onto Spamzy. It means that this cat execute has to be instantaneous, and now Grizz hustles on over. Lucid will have to do some work, and he can't find anything. Bursts from Grizz don't actually hit the mark, so at this point, even though he deals with that long pressure, a cat plant can really benefit for Marca Registrada in this post plant.
Got the kill from Walco. Grizz does get another good flash from Chop. Grizz doubles down. Walco coming up. It's Wolfie to get the kill instead on the barrels play, but Majestic can do nothing here. Although it is funny for Cat. If they dally, they can fall victim to Majestic coming through. They're giving him all the time in the world. Nades way too early. One on the bomb, the ops on the angle. Do it. Shots missed, and an extra kill comes through on the Grizz. Wolfie really needed to land that shot on the first chance. That's going to be damaging to the CT economy as Marca Registrada buy back into this round, but their economy is sorely lacking. And they might even go for a half here. No. Spamzy goes in for the Galil. They have to go all in. The half would have been a very rough choice and very too respectful of Marsborne at this stage of the game. Have to take advantage of every inch, and if you can take Marsborne down now, the T-side economy can snowball, as can that round count.
Yeah, when the bomb goes down and you get 3 kills, especially with how early this game is continuing on, I think it's wise to go for a buy like this. But when Wolfie is putting moves on in lower tunnels, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. They'll be able to get him out safely, but long has been lost. This is obviously very loud, and these cat players should be able to move back over on that defensive end. But for Taylor, still causing concern on the B side. They'll find out that it's just a ruse, and surely Lucid can slow the pace of the round down, but AMC has gotten very far forward. The nade up, and sure it does some damage to kick open the smoke, but it's still a 2v2, and there's still a chance at a bomb plant here. Marca Registrada fighting tooth and nail to get this one over the line.
Bomb down, they have some advantage, but no utility for either side, means it's going to come strictly down to the fights. Wolfie's op, moving up long, Walco on Cat, Walco good angle for Spamzy, but not good enough. Great shot by Wolfie as he predicts the car position perfectly. AMC now stuck behind single box, pops up, and pops back down. Can't finish the job. As Walco walks up, takes a little bit of time, but he hits his headshot. And 2 again survive for Marsborne, importantly keeping that op up again. And the bomb plant not enough for Marca Registrada to get a full buy into this next round. I think it's
not
time
enough
to go for the half.
Not enough loss bonus either, so yeah, definitely the route here for Marca. But Marsborne, on the other hand, starting to see just a little bit more out of Walco entirely. I mean, individually, he looks very sharp so far. Obviously taking breaks here and there after his big organizational stints. And now tasked with figuring out what to do with this Marsborne roster. Is he going to continue focusing individually? Does he want to move over to that calling side of things, give Wolfie a little bit more room to breathe? we'll see how that develops as time goes on. But this is a great first test for this Marsborne team as to how deep that they can go in this bracket. Of course, having to do it with their coach will never make it an easier task. You can see the hampering that it brings to some of these defensive setups. But so far, they're getting rid of those weaknesses somehow, some way. They're patching it up. And they just needed to stay alive in this lower bracket. Cat execute to come in. Avantgarde smokes drop through. And they'll just go in straight dry. See if they can cut down the distance and push Wolfie off these angles.
There's a good one from Wolfie. Lose it up on. Goose, though, needs that kill as Wolfie gets stabbed at the back. There's that gap in the defense that you were talking about. 3 versus 3 with the pistols upgrading, an op available to pick up. I don't think they're going to be able to recover it yet. It's too far up long. Chop will spot the head, I think. It's IMC. He will finish the job as well. Still have to worry about the gap there. But no, the nade will do spamsy, and Grizz will get another. So Marsborne survived, but that's 3 consecutive bomb plants for Marca Registrada, despite winning their first 3 without a bomb plant and losing their next 3 with a bomb plant. It's going to be good for the economy, good to get the utility up. But one thing they'll still lack is an op to contest with Wolfie early on in this game. See how much that hurts them, and maybe if they want to go for a B-lead.
They have been fashioning themselves to taking that upper control pretty regularly, and I do like that. Putting that initial conditioning in the minds of Marsborne, it might cause a little bit of concern. And look at Grizz, man, charging his way through. He had the flash set up from his teammate, and able to get the second one full blind is also the icing on the cake. 8 HP left, but it doesn't matter. This 5v3 is a huge benefit to the CT side. Chop keeps his life up on the B end. Leaves B1 to start getting frisky behind this mid smoke, but thinks better of it. So great work there from Grizz, and as this round continues to slow down, the options for Marca continues to dwindle.
Yeah, that was a great start from Grizz, who's stepping it up big time in this one. Wolfie adds another one with the op, as Marca Registrada have not got anything to answer with yet. Little bit of damage here and there, sure, but it is not going well. Wolfie ready to flash too early, takes it off, not expecting the run, over flicks onto for Taylor. So finally, Marca Registrada getting a kill, which actually could open up for a bomb plant now. Still have to get it down as Lucid closes the gap, but he's been struggling. He could double up here, he gets the nade, can't quite get the kill. That's a good moment for the coach to activate. He gets his one. Teammates there for the trade as well. Marsborne take an early lead. Op recovered too. Goes back to Wolfie. But if Grizz, Walco, and Wolfie can play as they have right now, I think Marsborne should be okay. I would like to see Chop step it up a little bit too, though. He's a guy who hasn't been tested a lot.
I think Chop is one of those guys that raises the ceiling of Marsborne considerably, but can also ruin their floor if he's not actually up to the task. And they are going towards his B bomb site. Tech 9's Mac 10, this is the real test for him. Flashes to come through, and he's got to connect. He'll find, after a labored spray, to find one. But as he continues to run out of bullets, things get a little bit more dicey there. He connects with the USB, no problem. That back plat position can be very forgiving at times. And now it's just AMC left up in this one, seeing if he can get any sort of damage. He gets rid of Wolfie, but runs out of bullets. Recovery mission for that sniper rifle is there. And Marsborne fend off the B aggression.
Well done from Wolfie and Chop. Chop takes that first bit of aggression. Walco, excuse me, not Wolfie. Walco's around the corner, playing towards Card. Just gets the players as they run out, looking at Chop. And good chance for Chop to get a multi-kill and boost his confidence as well. Back on the buy, though, for Marca. Galil for B1, AKs for everybody else. A little more lacking, particularly AMC, who's cooled off despite those early multi-kills. He was the catalyst for those first couple of rounds for Marca Registrada. And now he's just kind of vanished into obscurity. It's been for Taylor for the most part, B1 here and there. But Marsborne are settling into a rhythm here on this defense. They're starting to get comfortable. starting to play well off of each other. The utility for the retakes. And Wolfie now positioning up. Cat play. Takes a shot. Flash pops through. Backs away with his life, and that's the important thing. Leaving Lucid as the solo A defense is a bit risky.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Marsborne want to play their own brand of Counter-Strike, and assuming that Lucid is an equal player on this 5-man unit, which is worrying. Either way, they're going to go into the middle of the map and hope that they can potentially bound their way into the B split. Somehow Chop has snuck his way through his own smoke and is in upper tunnels, but surely Marca Registrada should be aware of this possibility as Grizz hits the deck as well. And yeah, there's the nade to kick things open, and it's just a firing squad on the other end. Lucid will save his A1S, but I love that little switch up there from Marca. They toss in the cat smokes to fade another Xe, but actually use that cover to bound in a CT spawn and then commit to the mid split. Very crafty, and it nets them a very earned 4th round.
Yeah, well-deserved 4th round from Marca Registrada, and Lucid might not even survive this. AMC up, and AMC down. I think Lucid might be fine. I don't know if Majestics can get there fast enough.
Terrorists win.
Has to be careful not to lose guns to this T-Sal. Oh, that is lucky. For both players. One of each could easily have fallen to the other. Op should go back to Wolfie. Rifles on the rest. But another good adjustment from Marca Registrada is we have a technical pause going in now. Let's see how long this one lasts. Hopefully not too long. But as it stands, a relatively even gun portion. Finally starting to lean back towards Marca Registrada after they won those first 3. But even the rounds that Marsborne were winning in that 5-round streak were not exactly the most confident. A lot of casualties and opportunities for Marca Registrada where they were consistently getting the bomb down and bringing it to a 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2.
Yeah, I think they've kind of understood that they're gonna have to do a little bit more beyond just the post plant here, and they've already go deep into their playbook to try and find some answers. And so far the success looks pretty nice. I like what they were able to do in that round previously, but having those set play rounds are going to be hard to replicate on a regular basis when you're playing against a roster like Marsborne, a team that is able to adapt to these circumstances very quickly. And something that is good for them is that they've got a lot of brains on the server. You've got Walco, you've got Wolfie, you've got Lucid. All of these guys definitely have the ability to synthesize how to not let that happen again. And now it comes down to executing on that adaptation in round number 10. Spamsy brings out the AWP, hasn't done so for quite some time, and sits in that Molotov and is rewarded for that HP risk. Lucid hits the deck and an instant 5v4 for Marca Registrada. Now if he misses it, okay, we're not even gonna continue that conversation. He doesn't miss, and now it's just AMC. 1v3 necessary, drops in a CT spawn and actually has an avenue into that B bomb site, at least temporarily. Nails the shot onto Walco. Beautiful little prediction there. And with Wolfie having his gun not out, maybe there was a chance, but Grizz still nails it. guards his captain's life. And now, Marsborne find a way to right this ship. Again, adaptation to these situations. And for the Mexican core, they'll have one more purchase left in the tank. You can already see that the core of this roster, Grizz, Wolfie, and Chop, are doing their job. And having that additive factor of Walco also chiming in, it's making up for the deficiencies that Marsborne have to go through.
Yeah, it is. Chop still hasn't really been tested too much. It's the life of a being. That's a good nade going into tunnels. Softens up Majestic's and AMC. But last 2 rounds to have here. Registrada desperately want to grab a 5th. They can grab a 6-6. That would be huge. Tries to split the gap. And is unsuccessful at that. That was a perfect lineup, but bullet
very
close.
close.
Walls, close, but no cigar. I don't know if Walco spotted the players in front. No, he didn't. Now he does. Smoke's going to be a little belated, but Chop's around the car. Now he's playing that spot Walco was earlier. Walco traded out, but Chop's still doing more and more damage. Off! No, he does not. Wolfie finds Spamsy in the interim. Smoke down door. HE for Wolfie. Blows open the smoke as if trying to stop that plan. Doesn't know that Majestics is 1 HP, but Lucid smoke spam, wallbang spam will work for the kill. 1 versus 3 for AMC. Can he be the hero here? Does not have the bomb in his possession yet. Still has to get it down. And only has a nade for utility. Not enough to work with, but he can take down a lineup here. That would have been great, but he doesn't even get past the first hurdle. No scope from Wolfie. And the 7th round of the board from Marsborne. No plant means less money for Marca Registrada. And 2 Galils, if not 3, will be purchased up for them. 3 Galils, an AK, and a MAC-10 is not the buy you want to have to try and eke out a 5th round on the T side.
And not after a collapse like that on the B bomb site, just baited in by Walco's jump spotting, considering that there might just be one singular player on the other end. So they're going to up the tempo this time around, try to burst it along a little bit faster. But Grizz has been an absolute titan on this end. He'll find his first kill, but takes significant damage. Flash connects. As AMC keeps searching, he'll take some damage the other way. Lucid can't connect the other way, and Walco finally spins around to help out his coach. For Taylor on the other end, though, continues the pace all the way up through Catwalk, and this high-tempo play from Marca Registrada is netting them, at least in their bomb plant, and a favorable man advantage situation.
Your buy is not ideal. You have to try something. There has to be a gimmick, and the gimmick is fast aggression. That cat play really locks it down. If Walco was able to stay alive, that does not exactly go the same way.
Ooh.
But great nades onto Majestics over on the site. We've got more utility coming in. There's flames now towards the site. Majestics forced behind double. The obstacle trying to find something. Chop as well, tapping away. It nets 1 kill. He's very low though, 2 HP. Wolfie, Chop drops down, 9 rounds in the magazine. Headshot from B1. HP low for Wolfie, and there's the bait and switch. Majestics finishes, and Marca Registrada, despite winning the first 3, end with 5. We'll see what happens after the half break. Marsborne lost the first 3. They bring it back to a 7-5 CT half on Dust2. Boggs and Paladin here on the call. B1 with dual Berettas, no kit for the Marca Registrada side, and a long A play ready to come through as there's 4 to defend from the CTs. Double flashes over. Spamsy and Pitt, not the first to get a kill. AMC is for Taylor. Majestics getting 2. Spamsy finally activates. And it looks like Marca Registrada are about to net both pistol rounds here as Wolfie crawls, and only crawls to an early grave. This is a prime opportunity for Marca Registrada to tie this up early in the half. And let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, it's just smartly done from Marca Registrada. It's just a pure counter. It's a long take with 4 players on the other end. You've got a player playing anti, a player that made it to pit, and even a deep player closer to the elevator to give you some flashes if you need any help. So there was no way that Marsborne were going to be able to build their way out of that one. Full Glock round here, not a single penny invested for Marsborne.
Smart.
And with that, they're not even going to take the existence approach. They're just going to go barreling into this deep offset. They have to get way further up than I would ever expect, but no kills, no problem. Marco will get the equalizing round, and right back to it, Marsborne now have to produce.
The buy is in. AKs across the board. But almost want Lucid to go Galil for the extra utility here, though. An extra Molly, an extra HE could go a long way. Go 5 AK. Wolfie down suicide, looking for a pick towards middle. Sees nothing. Heavy B lean on this default, too. 2 players in upper tons. Towards top middle. I'm thinking we're looking at a mid-B split from the early positioning of these Marsborne players, unless they want to audible something back to Cat.
It's a possibility. They keep chaining these smokes up in long, so no real rush for Marsborne in case they want to look into some potential aggression there. Ollie up through the short side, and they will be able to get up through that safely. Very slow, measured approach here from the T side. And finally, they decide to show face. Bit of chip damage, but you still have a player that's beaten the utility in Walco, and I don't know if Marca's aware of that. Molly dropped actually through the boards, and while they try to recover it, this is where Marsborne strikes. This could be an untimely mistake as Walco finds the trade through. Chop actually spots another body crossing back over. The idea for a mid-B split is still on the cards with 40 seconds left here.
And the smoke's down mid too. But it looks like they're going to go the safe way through upper tons, leaving Grizz to be the lurker down towards mid. Only B1 left to defend, but he's got a good position with that A1S. He can get 2, if not 3, out of the get him out well, but he can't even get 1. Jump over his crosshair, and Grizz gets himself a 3rd there. Great control of the spray. And Grizz has been spectacular for this Marsborne team in this map, and it's been great to see him perform like this.
He's been the beating heart of this Marsborne roster throughout all of their successes, and frankly, their losses as well. I think about just how much impact that he has on the server with the roles that he's been given, and when he is on his game, it's very hard to find a Marsborne loss in that regard. So seeing him come alive in this fashion, giving him the space in that fashion as well is very important. And look at this late long take here. Lucid wants to cut the distance, willing to die for his team because he knows there's some trades available. Grizz and Chop chime in for 3 kills, but AMC's still alive and kicking, and he finds himself a quick double as well. And as the dust settles, Walco wants to take advantage of this instant mid-B split smoke. And they can go charging through if they so please. They've spotted out everybody but for Taylor. Walco will play up and close against this smoke back between both of them. But Walco will come out the better. Tap to the back of the head. It's all up to AMC in the 1v2. But as that bomb gets planted on the B bomb site, his job goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, an op retake of the B site. 1 versus 2. Is worse than the MP9 retake of the B site, 1 versus 2. But the MP9 retake without utility is I'm actually going to say decently doable. If you can isolate a fight that doesn't end in a headshot, there's a chance. But Walker was always going to hit that. Wolfie was right there for the trade. The lack of utility really did put AMC in a rough spot, and given the money, I can see why he went for it. It was technically winnable, but saving the op would have probably been a better call, especially because now I think it got picked up by Wolfie.
I think the biggest issue when it comes to rounds like that is, especially if you're the underdog, you have to say that this is one of those rounds. If we can swing into our favor, we can pull off the upset. But as you mentioned, economically savvy decision, yes, to save that AWP. And it may end up costing them. Who knows? We'll see what Wolfie can continue to do with that sniper. As Grizz notches another one on the tally. 21 and 10 in this map of Dust 2.
Some trouble. That's going to be his end. He's had a pretty rough map. Thankfully, Grizz is firing at above 1 KD, so he's making up for it. Lucid wins the duel against the wounded B1. Does take the tag. Going back for more, he'll just cross safely, does not need to die, as Forza decides to walk through a smoke and to his grave. 3 trips down the river Styx from Walco. And I think because he's not found a gap, he'll make sound. Either way, Walco's not going to not look at window. Fire or no. He wants the round victory, he wants this map on the board, and their pick of Inferno is up next as well. Marca Registrada wanting to claim something on Dust 2. And they're running out of time to get rounds of the board on this on the CT side, and they'll finally use a tactical timeout, their first of this series so far. And I like this call. They can't really afford to lose this round, and they're going all in for it.
Yeah, I think this is the right time to call it. This is basically the most critical juncture of the game, I'd say. Real ripe opportunity for Marsborne to run away with this map pick of Dust 2. And at this point, they're also just losing a lot of potency in mid. I feel like the mid-B splits are very easily doable. And if they don't actually want to commit to the mid-B splits, they're getting a lot of info on that part of the map, because you're getting out of the T doors fairly easily. And I think Marca really have to find a way to hold that up as much as they possibly can. But that's neither here nor there. They'll go straight into this mid play, and Majestics does not get hit by any of the flashbangs. Spamsy chimes in for a couple as well. And you'll have Lucid trying to pick up the pieces, and he actually catches 2 players off guard. Spamsy takes considerable amounts of damage, and Wolfie catches and finishes off that kill. Bomb recovered, and the cross is on. Wolfie still has that smoke to deploy, so should be able to make it over safely, but the gap in the smoke is to his own demise. It's all up to the big coach that actually gave this opening to begin with. And he slows the pace of the round down. Will be allowed to plant, but here comes the double long lurk, and I don't know if he's going to be able to expect this one, Boggs.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so. He's somehow alive for a moment, but it fleets away. The fuse comes in, and off the back of a timeout, it's going to be the round victory for Marca Registrada, and one they desperately needed. Great to convert. They don't keep as many players alive as they'd like, but they do get the op for AMC. They get an AK as well. This is where things can start to build. Win the next round, and it really becomes a possibility here. The op's back for Wolfie. AKs for everybody but Chop. Now, Marsborne have to be feeling a little hot under the collar. This one's going to start to get a little bit more intense. They would like to avoid losing this map as well. They'd like to go into Inferno, a map which they don't exactly play a lot, with the cushion. Or else they might be ruining that veto. It is the lower bracket after all. So loser is eliminated from competition. And those precious, precious VRS points vanish to the opposition.
keep in mind, you're playing up against a roster that doesn't have many points themselves, so you would lose a considerable amount if you are to fall here. So here comes the hop out from the catwalk, a little rocky, to be completely honest, but they're gonna still find a way to battle tooth and nail. This is the kind of scrappy affair that you're kind of looking for from both Wolfie and Grizz. These are the guys that you want in the clutch at the end of the day. They hear the tick of the Molotov. They know that AMC is encroaching and goes for the jumping shot and doesn't nail it. Will actually allow for the boost up for fourTaylor, but that jump is noted. It's heard. And if that, I don't really know what you can do in this circumstance. Do you still want to commit to it? Yeah, I guess the save is really the only option, but he'll jump and vault up to himself on the new box, and with attention split between two sides, AMC and fourTaylor will find a way to battle back.
That's a round that was given to Marca Registrada there. Just got stuck on the ramp, and that's a collapse from Marsborne. That is an utter collapse in that 2 versus 2. They hear the jump fail twice. They know exactly what's going on. They still can't pick it up. But for Marca Registrada, that's a brilliant way to battle back. They won their fights. They did their due diligence despite making a couple of mistakes. I mean, I was thinking, gotta say, you can't go for this. The jig is up. And they kept going. And that's a gamble that could just push them over the line on Dust2. AMC reveals his position a little early, doesn't do any damage. Will not do anything damage-wise. A Molotov to allow some space for Walco to clear up. As he has nothing but a Tech 9, I would have liked to see Walco given a rifle from somebody, particularly Chopper Lucid, because Walco's been quite good with the rifle. Why limit him to a Tech 9 here? Get a little bit more out of it. Chop goes down early, as does Grizz for Taylor, just playing whack-a-mole over at Big Box. He gets 2 before he falls. And B1's outside B doors, waiting for reinforcements to come through. The bomb yet to go down. Marsborne are quaking in their boots. Only a smoke left as that Molotov goes in. They still haven't planted the bomb. The Molotov's gone. The smoke doors is going to fade.
Bomb has been planted.
It's going to come down to dry fights. There's a couple of flashes from Marca Registrada to get their way into this B site. 4 versus 3 retake. Yeah, it's B Dust2, but the momentum swing is gone towards Marca Registrada. And if they can get a free opening kill from somebody, even better. As 2 move through lower tons, it's going to come down to timing. Walco going between site and tunnels. Lucid up on the box. And Walco, that's a good start. Lucid another one. Lucid doubles! And Walco from tons as well. Nothing back in from Marca Registrada. And Marsborne hold the line. This time, they can keep their sight.
And this is the most inopportune moment for Marca to lose around and lose all of their guns. Single loss bonus, meaning double eco territory. This means Marsborne have the clearest of routes to just put this one to bed. And it's just the latest purchase as well. Here it comes. You've got a couple of pistols, a scout, and some MP9s. Chump change to try and muscle your way back into the conversation. And that's where risks have to be made. fourTaylor pushes in through the upper tunnels and has no awareness from Lucid to know that this is a possibility. Luckily, Chop trades it out and brings this one back level. Grizz makes that even better.
With the Deagle kill, though, Wolfie at least maintains the man advantage. B1 and Spamzy. Outside of the A-bomb side looking in, that's smoke allowing Walco and Grizz to cross and plant that bomb. Wolfie's got to be careful, though. Spamzy's picked up an AK. And this will make things a little bit better for the retake. Still, the scout is a major limiting factor. Wolfie's still over towards top mid. Both of these CTs coming through CT spawn. No kit either, so time is a major factor. And Grizz takes the timing well. That's a little bit of an issue they didn't have a couple of rounds ago. And he'll go back for more. Punish Spamzy on the retreat. And now Marsborne have 3 mapped points. Money in their favor. And Marca Registrada, nothing at all. It's going to be a force buy, desperation play. Stay alive on their map pick.
Yeah, truly a terrible time to lose all your money and lose all of that momentum that was slowly building up for yourself. Instead, they'll have to hold strong and see what they can get done with these 5-7s. But as it stands, Marsborne are in pole position to end this one where it stands.
Nate goes and does some damage to Walco, but Chop will get the entry onto B1. Now Marca Registrada, desperation, closing in, go for aggression, but the kills are coming back and forth. Trades out, long range 5-7, and now a second on the Lucid. A man advantage for Marca Registrada. In the dying embers of this map, their own pick. No trades back yet. Grizz spots one on the cross, does damage, no kill. Jumps up catwalk, but they're isolated from each other. Wolfie and Grizz, who's looking for the 30 bomb here in regulation, and is well on pace to grabbing that too. Grizz is going for some pressure towards A, trying to draw a rotation back. And there's the pick from Wolfie now, but look at Doors. Majestics can have Grizz on a plate. Never mind, Grizz is ready for it. And while the 30 bomb may be out of reach this round, I don't think he'd care as long as the round goes his way. Spamsy making noise. Grizz has heard this for sure. And while he's ready for it, Spamsy can't win the fight. Marsborne hold on. And Grizz is a beautiful V10 engine for this Marsborne team, zooming around the track as they hold on their opponent's map pick with a gamble of Inferno coming up next. A necessary victory for Marsborne.
Anchor and what I think about how Grizz can disassemble things on the banana end. So I think there is a lot to like about what Marsborne have going forward with this map, even with the struggles that they can have from a statistical standpoint. But this will be a real test for whether or not Grizz can power them through this game as well.
Or maybe it's somebody else's turn in the sun. A Walco, a Wolfie, a Chop, perhaps. We'll see what can happen here, as this T-side pistol round will set the tone for this map. And the out-of-town scoreboard as well, Paladin. Blue Jays took map 1 against M80. Oh, Taylor will be tested here. AMC actually gets 2 from Mini, but I don't know how he's the one who's getting the kills. For Taylor, just kind of running distraction. This one, Wolf, it's a good one. Chop finally connects, and through the smoke, the random spam finds B1. And from a sad situation to a man advantage, Marsborne get the bomb down on the A site. Majestic spots one in pit, but the other two unknown. Now a dink on the Spamsy, a goosh from the Glock, and Chop a third in the round. Majestic's no kit, no armor, and now almost no HP. Wolfie from pit will put him to bed, and Marsborne turned it on its head.
Golly, I mean, you can already start to feel that pressure mounting on the pit players, both small and big, but as soon as one topples, all of a sudden you're getting these wide swings from the site encroaching T's that Marca have no chance of holding on, and no spam potential either from the other end. Truly heartbreaking way to lose that one, but a 4-spot into this following round. And we'll have to see what they can do with these MP9s. Of course, force buy potential on a map like Inferno, much higher, I'd say, in some situations on the CT side for the defense compared to a map like Dust2. Get more into these encroached close range angles to get involved. AMC, Spamsy, and Majestics all in the same area around this bracket's side. For Taylor as well to chime in, but look at Lucid dealing with that boost. Chop on the other end as well. And now it's just Majestics on the A side. He'll find Lucid, but Chop is there for the trade, and just a matter of mere moments as B1 hits the deck as well.
Pretty good, easy cleanup there for Marsborne against the 4 spy. Lucid getting 2 definitely helps out. And then, of course, Chop dismantling the rest of the A defense as they find no trouble from the 4 spy. This one will be an eco for Marca Registrada, a couple of 5.7s. Majestics will buy armor as well. Never mind, he'll sell that. P250s on 2 players, as Majestics will drop P250 over. Outright pistols and nothing else as they push down middle. This could be a problem for Marsborne as trades are coming back and forth. Not answering back are the Marsborne players, but Lucid comes up big again. The MAC-10 for Lucid finds another multi, and that's going to steer the man advantage back in combination with Walco's kill. Down on that mid push for Taylor, though, has an AK. Not sure where exactly he was looking. I don't think he was sure either. And Lucid will net a hat trick in that round. Won't recover the AK, but it doesn't really matter for Marsborne. They survive a massive scare. They'll buy back up again. An op for AMC, though, to try and get things going for the CT side.
Big man Lucid, man. Doing it 2 rounds in a row. Key impact there from the coach. And they live to just skate on through here to 3 rounds. Walco now looking to take some banana control early. Doesn't see anything. That boost up for AMC has not netted a spot just yet, but misses the shot. That's a critical miss there from AMC, and Lucid is again getting up to his antics here in Boiler. AMC completely unaware of the idea. No trade potential, and it comes from the other end. A Chop with the response. Walco finding banana control as well. And just B1 and 4 Taylor getting eviscerated here in the mid to late round.
Yeah, nothing they can do to try and turn this one back, really, unless a gift is given over. And for Taylor, might just get caught out in rotation trying to find a safe place to hide, but there really is none. You've got the push from Walco up banana. He's engaged with B1. For Taylor, still working around arch side. Spotted now and shut down by Grizz. Walco backs away. They'll probably allow B1 to save. The money's not the best for the T side. But Lucid's MAC-10, it got the op, it got the dink on the second player too. It's opening up all the space.
He's got some crazy impact so far to start out this game. And who cares who it is that steps up, right? It's just, if anybody can get it done, it'll be enough.
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what guy is the guy stepping up. All that matters is that somebody is. You can tap the shoulders of your star to go do something. But if it's your 4th line grinder that suddenly gets things going, you're not going to complain. Nobody's going to complain on the team. If anything, it's going to be a big morale boost. I mean, I'm sure the Marsborne guys at this time out right now are like, all right, Lucid, he's got the MAC-10 again. Let's go, buddy. Come on. Let's get another, coach. I mean, I'm sure the guys are just gassing him up right now. It's probably a great environment to be in as they're up 4-0 and up against a half buy to try and get 5.
Yeah.
I want to
Funny how that works
right
sometimes. Yeah, I would love to hear what they have to say at this point. I mean, all it does is it just continues to like kick up the momentum and the motivation in the camp. All it can do is help. And now Lucid will continue to play on that MAC-10. He's still not upgraded. $6,700 in the bank, no problem.
Oh yeah, no, he bought MAC-10 to keep it.
I love it.
There's no reason for him not to. It's working.
Yeah.
And especially when you know your opponent's going to get a broken buy again. Why not? Don't be Zeus on Na'Vi. Don't force buy the AK when Simple's on a Deagle. And look what's happening. Another kill from Lucid. And he might just get a second too. B1's walking right into his arms, although B1's going to win that duel. MP9 is slightly better than the MAC-10. But Lucid's got his entry. He's got his kill. It's exactly what he wanted to do. So chaos. And look at the rotation back to site for both A and B. It's an isolated B1.
I'll molly in onto the new box. but it doesn't spread. So B1 has another opportunity here at potentially dueling. And they might consider that this position is clear, but Grizz, half checks it, turns around, and will still capitalize. Gets away safely to plant the bomb. Nade up to Fort Taylor. Damage not really a concern for the Marca Registrada boys, but they're not able to find any kills. Finally, Wolfie will go down, but it doesn't matter. AMC at this point, name of the game should be to save that gun.
For Taylor on 2 HP, can't really do anything either. He just kept getting naded. 3 nades were tossed into that position, and they'll back away. There will be no hunt. But Marsborne now up 5-0 on the T side of Inferno. Continue to just stack rounds on the board. And despite the timeout, Marca Registrada come up empty. Spamsy went heavy on the investment too. So they're gonna have to drop it. Pretty sure that'll be AMC dropping the rifle over. That'll allow him to get the op back in hand. But he's also got to hit those shots. Think about round 3 or round 4, where he had the boost up and the player dead to rights and just did not hit that shot.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see from AMC. And slowly running out of chances of staying in this qualifier. A guy that has had a lot of impact in terms of Marca Registrada's successes and needs to be that shining beacon if they want a chance in this tournament. Wolfie going aggressive here. I think Logistics must have spotted out something to stop there on his encroachment. And he will punish Wolfie there. Walko decides to pick it up himself, the sticks. But no real punishment factor available means he'll just hold on to this part of the map. But smoke in his face, he'll slowly back away himself as well.
Well, the kills are coming from Marca Registrada. No response for Marsborne, although Grizz might just... He's gonna miss that spray pretty heavily. That would have been a big opening, though. That would have opened the whole Archside CT spawn area. Instead, it's 22 HP Walko and full HP Lucid without his magical Mac 10 to try and get something done, and I think it's going to be a save call for these two. At least for the op. You do not want to lose that here. Yeah, they're just
you want to have
T-spawn.
the most amount of chances to get buys out on the board. Walko's still on 1600 as well. Can be dropped on over from Grizz, so there should be no problem here. I think this is the financially savvy thing to make, especially with how much of a buffer you have. From a round perspective, it should be fine.
Counter-terrorists win.
They'll be safe here. They'll survive, and for Marca Registrada, not only do they get a win, but they get a flawless victory. They don't lose a single player. Big for the economy on the CT side. Has to be a confidence boost for them as well. We'll see what else they're capable of moving into this next round. Marsborne are going to go right back at it. But still, 5 rounds to start off this map on T-side Inferno is a good thing for Marsborne. 6, 7, 8. We keep on getting better and better. Jump up into window for Chop. Getting some information and some map control early. Default out for the T side, and we'll see if anything happens. This utility continues to just bloom in the faces of these players. Chop's going to be the one to try and start something out of apps, though, and he's got to be careful not to fall for Taylor in towards pit.
No, but this is a powerful position to have as long as the round continues to develop. You don't know when a player on the CT side will just be lulled into a false sense of security in terms of the rotation. And they can just continue to bide their time here. He can stay here till that 30-second mark. And as soon as Bambi decides to show face. Surely they've tried to pull the trigger, but Chop elects not to. Now AMC is the point of contact. He hits the deck. Chop comes through, and now they've got to hit the accelerator button. They've taken care of that AWP, but how did they get up through lane when Ford Taylor is playing this way?
They got mollies. They have a smoke and a flash. The molly goes to big hit. They know Ford Taylor. Grizz wins the first duel. Walco takes out Ford Taylor. 2 versus 2 now with the bomb going down. 16 seconds on the clock. Eventually the bomb will go down. Walco is taking a sweet time, making sure all the utilities in place first. And Wolfie still holds a Molotov as well over in towards apartments. Both Majestics and B1 coming in same angle. Molotov prep, that'll drop right in on site. Walco already vacating that position though. Good for him.
Doesn't take a tag.
He does, but I think he should be fine, especially with that overall. Wolfie, that is exactly why. Majestic's down, and B1 over on the lane. Spots the Molotov, can't know where Wolfie is, takes the damage, and Walco on the box. Easy kill. Isolated victory for Marca Registrada, and right back to the drawing board for the Mexican side.
Yeah, a little worrying there with that tag, but still no problem there for Walco. Still finding a way to get some impact, and Wolfie deploying that Molotov to perfection. It spreads just the right amount across the hay bales to get that sound cue over. And the clutch factor coming into favor now for the T side. Marca continue to struggle here on their gambit of a pick.
Walco taking a lot of that damage. Can't quite get something back in yet, and Marsborne look to be thinking better of this B take. Dropping off, rotating back towards A, where the bulk of their success has been had. They can still go back to B, and I don't think it should be something they should throw out entirely. There's plenty of time on the clock. But it's all about trying to get a pick, and Marca Registrada have not been getting aggressive. They're playing so passive, it's forcing Marsborne to take an aggressive pick. And that's precisely what Marca wanted. They wanted that fight, but the Molotov forces B1 into the open. That could open up this B side. Majestics around the pool. One more, but he's blind, and he's done. Walco, 3 HP, might just get bogged down here by Wolfie, but he's still holding onto that CT side. There's no smoke to guys off across over the site, and Wolfie does not miss his first. Molotov down to hold off a run. Walco on 3 HP, does not matter. AMC dealt with by a headshot, and for Taylor, the last one standing, will try to back away and save, but Walco's going to be on his heels over in towards mid. See how far Walco wants to activate, and Lucid actually is the one to punt him down. 7-1 scoreline to the favor of Marsborne, as this looks more and more into the Marsborne favor, and the individuals from Marca Registrada. You're getting a shimmer here and there from a Ford Taylor or an AMC, but it's far from consistent enough to even yield more than one round at this point.
I mean, you think about the good news for Marca Registrada is that Grizz is not necessarily having that same level of performance, but the bad news is literally everyone else is having the performance that we're looking for, and that just creates a dire scenario where everywhere you turn, the clutches aren't going your way, the map control is not going your way, you're not able to establish really any pressure anywhere. And now, even after winning the apartments control, you're starting to lose car. Maybe Majestics can do something with this mag 7, but caught on the jump. Walco still doing some stellar work here, and he wants to continue to extend into this B bomb site. AMC will make it to that smoke to try and spam over, but opts not to. Wants to elect back into the church side, but he's mollied there, so the bomb should be able to go down on this B end, and Wolfie deals with that quick flank potential as well.
AMC up close though, one but only one. Walco continues his individual tear. Don't look at that death counter. If you're Marca Registrada, he's only died once. And we do have a technical pause again now. That'll slow down the momentum for Marsborne. But 12-1 for Walco. Grizz was the machine on the first map, but right now Walco is taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, and
nothing Marca Registrada can do.
That clip there at the very end, that double kill, that's a spray transfer. A nice one at that. And to me, that just showcases just the strength of what Walco can bring now that he's not really have any pressure on terms of the calling department. I'll be curious to see what the official verdict is if he is calling on this team, but I can definitely tell that he feels a lot less pressure on himself to move around the map. He's very keyed in onto that banana position, and he's finding that level of impact in terms of the entries, in terms of the impact in the post plants as well. Automatically just being a turret for this team.
Lucid's had a good game too, particularly with the MAC-10, getting Marsborne going in the early side of things. But Walco has been that stalwart defender. That turret is a great way to describe it. We'll see if there's Walco's companies. That's a well-placed. Actually, that's a good flashbang, but nothing comes of it. One is there for a trade and actually gets two. Wolfie needs to be careful not to fall in the Molotov exchange between two. What a shot on the AMC. I don't know how he saw him through all the smoke from the Molotovs, and I don't know what Four Taylor's doing right there. Just sitting out in the open with a nade in hand, ready to chuck it down.
Oh,
Gets
no.
domed by Chop, who finishes off Spamsy as well. And B1 now with an op in hand, the only remaining member of the Marca Registrada team, peeks in, goes down as Chop has himself a time. As it was Walco's time to die and Chop's time to shine.
I mean, Spamsy should be getting that kill every day of the week. Just off the mark, and Chop capitalizes as I think there might have been a slight misstep there, falling back onto the cart. And Marsborne capitalized after a stingy loss. Unfortunately for the CTs, it feels like too little too late. Even 3 rounds feels like nothing. Lucid will continue to try to get up to his MAC-10 antics, but won't be able to find that same level of impact. Chop certainly will, though. Executes AMC in the boiler room and holds on to this apartment's control for as long as possible. This gives room for the rest of this T side to encroach upon the banana position, and gives a chance for Chop to find a couple more kills here. Oh, but he gets ripped to shreds by Spamsy. Beautiful little sidestep there.
Still around the corner and the big Majestics to pick up, but Grizz turns around and turns it into a 2 versus 3 with the bomb going down. The smoke not down. And time to reposition. Grizz, though, so low on health. He needs a headshot to stay alive. A lot of pressure on him, but he gets a brilliant opening on his Spamsy, who's running again with nades in hand. So many times we've seen these Marca Registrada players strolling about the lanes, nothing ready for it, and Four Taylor again gets caught with his pants down. As Grizz just drive-bys him with the AK on the peak. B1's been spotted. He's making all the noise in the world, and his time is running out with no fuse kit. He flips around, flicks back, flips forward, and Wolfie will punish him in time. 10-1 for Marsborne, as this one is looking all but over. And Marsborne should be ready to move on into the next stage of the lower bracket. Does not appear that their time in close qualifier will end just yet.
Yeah, they certainly deserve to hang around for just a little bit longer. I think this is showing the poise that this Marsborne roster can have, and that they are up among the better teams within the North American scene. And that for Marca Registrada, they've got a real road to improvement before they can hang around these kinds of teams.
Marca Registrada have been kind of tailing towards the top end of the advanced level for a while, but Marsborne, a team towards the top of ECL, is another level entirely, as Walco and Wolfie getting 2 openings over on the B side. Poised for more. Spamsy so low. The flank doesn't really even matter. And there's a flank on a flank. As Chop is behind. AMC so low. Spamsy tries to activate. And he's surely been lured. As all up to Spamsy gets one. It's a futile gesture. 11-1 for Marsborne. Heading into the halftime break.
Go to broad daylight, feeding every night like Friday night. I keep the party on rock and I Bombay ice. Gotta see stars like Broadway lights. I told a baby girl, you don't gotta kick it with the daydreamers. You can skip the line, I'm the gatekeeper. Plus I got the crowd going crazy, dance floor blazing up, going. When they see me show up, I be feeling glowed up. When they see me show up, I be feeling so. When they see me show up, I be feeling glowed up. When they see me show up, I be feeling so. With the VIPs in your city, getting litty as a BIC, huh? Yeah, screaming life's a gift, so we live to the fullest till we DIE. DJ, put it back on, keep it hype, we don't wanna hear no sad songs. Everybody up in here just wanna celebrate. Sip a little drink, get the dance on. That's all, listen, everything good over here. We don't want no problems, we just want cheers. Toast to the good life, wine, liquor, beer. Haters getting blocked if they trying to interfere. Swag on 100 and my drip too fresh. Certified stunner, need a big blue check. I don't got no time for no BS or no negative ideas in my vibe, cause I'm just too blessed. Run it back. When they see me show up, I be feeling glowed up. When they see me show up, I be feeling so. When they see me show up, I be feeling glowed up. When they see me show up, I be feeling so.
A have to remember for Marsborne. A have to forget for Marca Registrada. 11-1 to the ECL competition. Boggs and Paladin here with you for this journey. Tonight in Stage 2 of the Season 22 ESL Pro League qualifiers in North America. Chop looking for contact. Doesn't quite get it. Grizz will back out of apartments. It's a four-man stack on the A side from Marsborne. And it looks like Marca Registrada are walking right into the jaws of the beast.
Yeah, these four players gonna have a real task at hand for themselves. But Wolfie, Lucid, they get the trades in. Dooley's still not really a conversation point, and Lucid's gonna continue to get pushed back, finally dealt with by AMC, leaving Grizz in the pit. But I think they're at least considering the wrap back into B, into those dual Berettas. Welko is hearing all of this, the charge back the other way, and he's got a kill on a silver platter. Just Spamsy left up in it, and it's a match point just like that for Marsborne.
That collapsed for Marsborne. Good kill and pit from Grizz, and the information from Walco rotating in, ready to cut them off. They don't clear it, they're not ready for it. And an MP5 comes out of Majestics to try and keep Marca Registrada alive with 11 match points for Marsborne. Tech 9 on 2, Mac 10 on 2, 3 flashbangs, 1 decoy is it for the utility. And the nade damage down middle is huge. Grizz spots 1, takes out 2. 4 Taylor at least does deal with Wolfie. Drops the next in line, sprays wildly, and control it. Open opportunity, but Lucid's SMGs are not to be outdone. For Taylor walks back to Grizz, and B1, the last one standing, 1 versus 3, 65, 80. Not even a dream, but a nightmare as Walco steps up behind and delivers the finishing blow. Marsborne run wild with a second map to take out Marca Registrada 2-0 and move on through the lower bracket, eliminating their opposition.
Brutal loss to hand to Marca Registrada, but again, this is the class and